is on the calendar. 4B is on the calendar. Just about anybody who's got a calendar is listed under there. And when the individual group or person updates their calendar, it automatically updates there. But all you do need to get in touch with Duke Violation to get added to the master calendar. Once you're on the master calendar, then everything else falls into place.
So it will pull from other calendars as well?
Correct. It pulls from whenever I post an event on MBNN, it automatically updates anybody who's using these calendars. So I don't have to go to each individual calendar. And I've got the wonderful and charming Amber Rain sitting here dancing with Abby Dose, just having a good time.
Always good to be corrected. Let's see, what other...
Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, I just know that Google Calendar allows for the most collaboration that we have, so it's easiest. That's the easiest way to actually get around right now.
Well, the biggest thing I got from everybody was they wanted to be able to put it in their mobile devices. So those people who have tablets, iPods, iPads, they wanted a calendar that they could access that could give them real-world reminders so that when they set for an event, they don't have to go to their computer and check a calendar. They don't have to do anything. They set it on their calendar, they click a button, and the reminder rings and tells them, hey, you got an event coming up. Better get yourself to a computer. Alrighty, well, I'm going to take a quick break here from streaming. I'm going to step away from the camera. I'm going to let Jack just take over for a few minutes, and you guys can chat, talk about some stories in the past.
Okay, once again, we are at the wind down party for killing off release 16. Most people are dancing. We've got really open topics today. So some of the easiest topic is, what is Jade's favorite thing in release 16 that you've done?
Thinking.
Oh, before I step away, okay, I'm going to have to step away. I got a message from Materio. He says, or they check their app.
Okay, my favorite moment. Whoops. My favorite moment was when I have never PvP'd before, and was at Owl's Head, and I joined in the fight, and I actually killed a couple of our PvPers, and it was a lot of fun, and I surprised a lot of people, and it was a kick.
Can I ask, when did y'all start doing that exactly? Because I know Hookliner's been telling me y'all have been doing it for a while, but I haven't been around much either this past 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much either the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I think I finally convinced people to go into it about 3 weeks ago because of the problems everybody has with just different events.
The 1v1 is... 1v1 is just so difficult right now with the healing, and it's so fun to have the group fights right now because of healing. So it kind of works hand in hand. That's my opinion on it, at least.
Yeah, I do know that in release 17 they're redoing some of the pavers in Ardoris. The other day when I was there, it was rather laggy, but I'm hoping that they fix that again. But that team arena is just too much fun. Because even a simple low-level melee guy, if he is a stunner, so if he's using blunt objects, he can actually keep someone stunned enough to allow a heavy hitter to come in and knock someone down.
I never did get to step away. Materio had got me before I left, but he can't join us right now. That he says he's listening, and thank you. So, Materio, yes, we forgot to mention the app. We will talk about the app more when I get back, though. There's a lot about the app that people need to know, and we will discuss that momentarily. So I will actually officially step away this time, and I will be back.
Okay. I actually have the app on my phone. It does allow you to listen to the radio, keep up with the events, as well as join the official IRC client. It uses Kiwi IRC, but it's my understanding that Materio is actually going to be rewriting that IRC client and going through that. Some of the events or some of the information on the Shroud of the Avatar app is currently in development, but the most useful ones are listening to Avatar's radio, the calendar, and also the updates directly from Portalarium.
Yeah, that's an application I've been meaning to get a hold of so I can pop it on my tablet as well. I'm quite curious about it.
You actually have to sign up for it in the forums. I don't think it's on the official Play Store or in the the Apple Store either. So if you sign up for it on the forums, just look for the appropriate operating system, or you could whisper Materio and say, "Hey, I'd like to join the beta test for your app," and he'll send you the information, and he'll ask for your email and some other things.
Alright, no worries. I've been planning to do that, just with everything else going on. It's kind of slipped the mind once or twice.
Yeah. I personally don't stream Avatar's radio as frequently as I should, but the hazards of my job.
One thing I find amusing is everyone has a story of their best moments of this current release that's being phased out now, and I don't actually have a story.
Well, you've only been in the games for a couple days, but it's my understanding you've already met Lord British a couple of times, which for me it took 2 weeks.
Just the once today, actually. I think my only story is the fact that I teleported to this city and had no clue how to get back, and I spent 3 hours getting back to the starting city.
Oh, that's just... Well, we've all been there.
Well, the /zone command is actually going to be leaving the game in a few releases. It is currently one of the developer commands. So eventually it will take you that 3 hours to get back to that city. Okay. But hopefully you'll have the clock map, because you'll be able to navigate a little bit easier. Now, have you ever played any of the Ultima games at all?
The weird thing is, I actually own a lot of them, but it's always been one of those sort of things I really need to get around to it, but I haven't. I've actually been able to take the time to load some of those onto my GCW Zero handheld console, which is this open source machine, because I have some of the GOG releases. So what I plan to do is pop them over to that and try and play them through my Zero so I can play it on the go.
When you do, you will actually find out some of them are really fun. Others will end up being a little bit tedious. Lord British does try to incorporate a little bit of realism into his games. And I was speaking with someone else that just joined Shroud of the Avatar 2 days ago. And Lord British came on, so I had him zoned to me. And he was actually talking about one of the Ultimas. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was 5. Where you actually had to spend so much time hunting for food or you would starve to death.
Sometimes brutal mechanics, eh?
Yes. In this game, every potion actually has a little bit of alcohol, so at some point in time, one of the future game mechanics is going to be that you get sick from drinking too many potions. You can also feel full. Eating is a buff in game, and so is drinking. It does. It will manipulate different skills. Bambino is probably the best person to talk to about that because he has used all of those different food and drink buffs.
I'm interested, Bambino.
Okay, so go back on that again. I was kind of switching between audio things here. I got a lot of stuff going on here. So you were talking about consumables, right?
Yes, I was.
No, to be honest, I'm not the best person to ask about that. But the food buff seems to be the best thing to use. For as far as PvP goes, potions I haven't used much. I mean, they may help a lot. Focus potion seems like they may be really usable this release because of the focus issue. But honestly, I've only used food. You get the plus 10 health per second, which is awesome.
Is it a particular kind of food that gives you the plus 10 health per second?
I believe Bambino's
Any
partial
of
to the
it.
mutton.
Any of it.
Yeah, it seems all food does that.
Yeah. So the cheapest and easiest to make is really the bark bread, and you can actually make a profit making that as well. So.
Oh, thank you for. I hadn't even thought of the crafting aspect of it as well. Are you just selling it to the store, or
Yeah,
are you
you
selling
sell
it
it to the
players?
baker. You get the best price from the baker.
What is the rare resource you need for that bark bread? Is it sooty bark or
It's
is that
tree bark, which, you know, if you're processing wood and gathering wood, you're gathering tree bark as well. So you end up with a big pile of it.
I know that I lost his name. Hang on.
So I might
Hookliner-
know more about food and drink than everybody else.
Hookliner was financing his PvP exploits with bark bread because I gave him all my bark.
Yeah, he told me about that. He's the one that actually told me about him and Soul were telling me about bark bread. I never got to doing it though. I haven't actually made money myself in quite some time. It's always been from I still have my gold from tournament winnings. I guess I've kind of been living off of that.
Well, you've won enough of them.
Right?
So what's the fastest way to level in Release 17? Do you know?
Are we allowed to ask that question? I'd like to know.
And I'm
Onyx
back.
and I have been doing a lot of
I-
experimenting with that.
I don't think that everyone here is necessarily Dev Plus, so I think you're just maybe going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's something that we don't want to give out. We want people to wait till
Find
the
out for
release when we can tell them.
Right.
And yes,
Never
that
mind.
is
I
a
need to patch
spoiler.
up my QA server.
Now, I'm sure that the Mad Hermit will probably have some kind of
Right.
video on that.
Exactly.
I'd like to give a shout out to the Mad Hermit there,
Indeed.
as he puts out some really great videos, and I'm in talks with him and Amber Rain. We have an idea that we are hopefully going to get out there to the folks, but that's that's in talks, and I think it'll be a really great killer collaboration.
So many exciting projects in the works all over the place.
Now this year, what we're doing, I just want to let everybody who's watching and in the room know this is going to become a regular feature. This is what MBNN is going to be about. Is as we're out covering events, we're going to be here in the live on-air room and inviting the general public to come in and the community to come talk with us while we're on the air and tell us what they're doing, what's happening in their worlds, you know, the newest things they found in the world, and come share them with us while we're live on the air. So I want everybody just to keep that in mind. You're all always welcome to come back whenever you see us live on air. And of course, you guys are hooked into all the networks and chats and everything else, so you'll be able to follow when we go live. And come join us, chat with us, and you know, make this lively newscast for the community out there. Because of course,
So Bambino,
it's the community that counts.
Bambino, you were talking about potions. Jack or Bambino, do you know if there's any plans, or have you read any place on the open forums where the heal potions are going to be improved at all? Because right now I find them to be rather ineffective.
I do too. Actually haven't played with them much since